For many years, our denominational hymnal, the United Methodist hymnal, did not carry any of these songs, even though there had been black people in the Methodist Church from its very inception. There had been no Methodist church in America without black people being a part of it. And yet the hymnal carried nothing of the songs of the people who were of African descent. But finally we had a hymnal produced in, I think, 1966, I guess it was, which they put 5 of the songs that come out of this tradition, which they call American folk melodies. That hymnal carried one gospel hymn by the African-American Methodist preacher, Charles Albert Tindley. I remember it very well. It was number 244. Wasn't the one in it. It was When the Storms of Life Are Raging, Stand By Me. One song, and 5 spirituals they call American folk melodies. Well, I worked for many years to produce a book that would make available to this music out of the African-American tradition. I worked for many years to make that music available to the church. And finally, I was able to get the church to publish Songs of Zion. This Songs of Zion, which has sold more than 1.7. Oh, you got that. 1.7. Thank you. You're ahead of me. We have to get our act together here. No, I didn't bring it. And that's the sequel to it. But Songs of Zion, I was able to finally, after almost 17 years, just preaching and teaching and writing and lecturing all over America, I finally was able to get the church to publish this book, Songs of Zion, which has sold 1.7 million copies across the world. The church said, we don't have any use for this. And I said, well, let's try it. Let me tell you how we got it. Maybe I told this story before. I'll tell it again anyhow. You need it to remember. You get old as me, you know you forget what you said before, you know. Well, anyway, I was trying to get this book published and trying to get a book published, not this book, trying to get a book published. We finally met in Miami, Florida. Joanne was there with me. But the committee met in Miami, Florida, by the way, about this time of year. It was cold in Florida. We'd never been to Florida. It was cold in Miami. We thought we'd meet in a warm place. But anyway, we met in Miami. And we were talking and talking. They sent the white vice president of the publishing house. They sent him down there to Miami to meet with these black folk who were there talking about this book they wanted. And the vice president was there. And we were talking and talking and talking. And he wasn't responding at all. So finally, my good friend, who some of you have seen on television, Zan Holmes, you've seen him at what's that called? Disciple Bible. You've seen him on that. Well, Zan was there, my good Zan Holmes. Zan said, Bobby, why don't we stop talking about songs and why don't we just sing? And so Cynthia Wilcox, moved over to the piano. And she just sort of quietly started playing him this morning. She started quietly just playing the melody, the precious Lord. Take my hand. Leave me on, let me stand. I'm tired, I'm weak, I'm worn. I looked over, and the white vice president had tears coming out of his eyes. I turned to the man and said, we got it now. Well, that's how we got this. He said, well, we'll go ahead and publish 5,000 copies of the songbook. We don't think we can sell it, but we'll publish 5,000 copies. We had orders for 85,000 copies of this book before we even had it off the press. As I said, it has sold 1.7 million copies across the world. I've been to Germany and and I've been to Africa and other places, even outside of the United States, and they're singing out of Songs of Zion. This book, Songs of Zion, changed the music of all Christian denominations, including the Roman Catholics. If you go and look in the hymn book of the Presbyterian Church, if you go and look at the hymn book of the Lutheran Church, if you go and look in the Catholic hymnal, you find songs from Songs of Zion. I wrote in the preface to this Songs of Zion these words, and I want to read. You know, you're old when you start quoting yourself. I want to read just what I wrote in the preface to this book. This songbook offers the whole church a volume of songs that can enrich the worship of the whole church. It is music that has nurtured a people, soothed their hurts, sustained their hopes, and bound their wounds. It is music that will broaden the musical genres in worship in any Christian church. It is the songs of Zion to be sung by God's people, who are always strangers and pilgrims in any land they inhabit. Every land they inhabit is theirs, and every land is foreign. For we are pilgrims, but we can sing the songs of Zion in a strange land. Then I concluded this one sentence. These songs are offered on the altar of the church by a people who, while in this strange land, sang the songs of Zion to the glory of God. I urge Oxon Hill United Methodist Church to sing these songs of Zion. The hymnals we have in these pews this morning, and out of which we sang earlier, became the most inclusive denominational hymnal produced and published. I worked hard as a consultant to the Hymnal Revision Committee for 4 years to make it so. We have in that hymnal you have in the pews this morning 110 pieces that come out of the African American Christian tradition. Songs that come out of the tradition of those who sang the Lord's songs in this strange land. And included in that hymn is one local boy's rendition. Duke Ellington's Come Sunday. Oxon Hill United Methodist Church, you're an inclusive church. You're a multicultural church. And so part of the contribution of black people, as we remind you during this History Month, is that we've changed the music in this country. We've made the culture different because we sang in this strange land. I want to urge you to sing. The story is told of Robert Green Ingersoll, who was a great orator and a great patriot and a great writer and a great man. Robert Ingersoll died, and he was an atheist. So they put in the obituary in the newspaper for his funeral. All of the details about his birth and his accomplishments in life. And they said, at the funeral, there will be no singing. Well, there wasn't anything to sing about. He didn't believe in God. He didn't believe in faith. He didn't believe in the church. He didn't believe in Jesus Christ. But we do believe in the church. We do believe in God. We do believe in faith. And so we can sing the songs of Zion in this strange land.
Amen.